Heifers, and welcome to Angus IT, the podcast all about anxiety, depression, and pressure, the ever burden of our lives weighing upon our shoulders. We put our pressure on ourselves. Society puts pressure on us. Maybe family members, friends, what have you. Pressure's all around us, and it's not cute, and it's not funny, and it's really stupid because I have a lot of pressure on myself, and my muscles aren't getting stronger or bigger. I assume if I'm going to have this much pressure on my muscles, Pilates is all about using your own body weight against you. So why don't I have abs and biceps? I'm confused. Really rude. I'd love one of the side effects of mounting pressure to be, I look like a god. But I'll take what I get right now, which is just sleepless nights, immense amount of anxieties, bouts of depression, and just wallowing. It's just as good. Just as good. Today I'm recording from my couch. Usually I record in my office at my desk where I have these beautiful soundproofing panels. I can close the door. There's less noise. But today was just a day where I wanted to flop on my couch. It's a beautiful day outside. I wanted to be able to look outside and see my alligator. Hey there, Gucci. If you're new and you don't know, I have a surrogate alligator I've adopted that lives in my complex's pond. And I guess I named him, and thus I have a very deep emotional attachment to him. Anyway, I'm really okay, guys. I'm fine. But I just was I want to record in a cozy place, and I have no fucks to give. So here we are. Welcome to my couch. It needs a vacuum. Underneath, there's a sea of crumbs, but that is a secret of mine that you can't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, don't tell anybody. I have it together, I promise. The idea of talking about pressure is mostly I need to have a serious chat with myself. Hey, Elaine, this one goes out to you. Bitch, listen up. Stop doing this to us. I don't like the pressure you're putting on me. It's really rude. I'm just trying to live my best life over here on this couch, and yet, every other moment is just are you doing enough? And it's stop talking to me like you're a puppet. It's scary. I don't like puppets. I am someone who puts a ton of pressure on herself. I am the queen of pressure. I constantly don't think I'm doing enough, which is the main source of my self-angst, I would say, is this constant fear that I am being lazy or I'm procrastinating and I could be doing so much more. And what helps that is a lot of self-comparison to not only past parts of my life where I've really been slaying the game, but to other people as well who are doing fantastic. And they will come from the same background I have of they have a mental health disorder, and yet somehow they have a 6-figure income. They look great, and they have a farm of llamas. I really don't want to take care of llamas. That's a lot. Llamas for aesthetics seem nice, but then you meet one and they smell bad and weirdly terrifying. I didn't know I had a fear of getting trampled by a llama, but if you've never been in an enclosure with a llama, don't judge me. Don't judge me until you do it. Maybe after you do it, if you're I don't get it, Elaine, fine. But don't judge me until you do it, because they're big enough and stupid enough to do damage. That's just my opinion. I do all these things, and it doesn't make me happy, and I don't really need other things to not make me happy. My chemicals already have that covered. My biochemistry said, no, this girl's bipolar. We're just going to sprinkle some emotions here and there. And she's checked her boxes. Anything external, though, sure, pile it on. But just so everybody knows, we've filled the quota for the day, but it's fine. It's fine. again, if you're new, a lot of these feelings have come up for me because I quit my corporate job in January. And I did that because after 2020, and I mean, it'd been a long time coming, but getting to work from home and realizing that I can work from home and I really like the schedule I've been able to set for myself. My mental health was, it functions better with the schedule I can create at home, or at least it was better than whatever I was doing at my old job in the office. I wasn't really able to focus. The pressure had been building at work for a while and I was burnt out. I was good at what I did, but I wasn't passionate about what I did. And I learned that I am someone who needs to feel passionate about what I'm doing because I was doing a lot of output and I wasn't getting a lot of input. And I started doing that thing where I was just living day by day and I get to the weekend just to survive, not even getting to really enjoy it, but just being like, oh, relief. And the same would happen for vacations. I wasn't necessarily getting to travel for the joy of it. It was pure escapism. And that's not to say that those trips weren't good, but it definitely sets a different tone for an adventure when it's a means of escape as opposed to an additional beautiful layer to the life cake that you've baked. Ooh, mine's funfetti because it's cute, trashy, and most people love it. I'm going to retract that. We'll just put that in the folder of shit I've said and I don't know why I said it. And one day we will read the folder. But for now, it's going in the vault. Maybe 25 years from now, we'll pull it out. Anyway. What was I talking about? Your guess is as good as mine. So I hit a point where I thought, okay, maybe I should do a career change. You know, I'd been at this job for a long time and I thought, okay, maybe it's time to do something new. But I was so exhausted that I had no energy to search for a job. And I realized I just had this moment one night staring at the ceiling. I was like, I'm never going to break this cycle. I will never get out of the routine I've set. And this is what my life is going to be like for eternity, which isn't a fun feeling. It's not great to be like, oh, I'm imprisoned for life when you see all these other people getting to do things they're passionate about or, you know, seem like they're passionate about. You know, social media is just a facade, but you know what I mean? Like you see these people and they are doing what they love. And some people, they go against the grain and they do things that just seem scary that you could never do. How could you do that? That's so risky, unstable, all these things. And a lot of the things I'm passionate about tend to be there. I'm very into my creative projects. I always thought freelancing might be a fun thing to try, but it just sounded too overwhelming to figure out. But I had that thought come to me. And then I knew, and it took a really long time to get to this place, by the way. This wasn't a very easy decision to make, but I just realized the only way I can break this cycle at this point for me is to quit my job and then figure it out, which is just like the ultimate thing people don't do. Usually people quit with a more concrete plan, like they've been working on their business and now their business is big enough and taking up enough of their time that they can quit the day job to go into the business. No. I did not have that set up. I used to say I quit without having a plan, but I've come to realize that's wrong. And I need to change my self-talk, which really feeds into a lot of the pressure I've put on myself, is that I come up with all of these thoughts about myself and statements that aren't true, but I try to guilt myself with them, though I'm not sure what the guilting is supposed to accomplish aside from just making myself feel shitty. So yeah, one of those phrases would be, I quit and I didn't even have a plan. Now the plan I had was, loosey-goosey, but I did have a plan. And the plan was to figure out what I want to do. And that is a valid plan. It's not perhaps, again, as concrete as knowing exactly what I want to do. But there's a reason why I did this, and it wasn't because I'm a lazy fuck who just wants to drink margaritas all day. First off, the assumption that I'm capable of creating a cocktail, while very, complimentary, I appreciate that. But it's not me. It's not me. I can't do that. That would require me to know what to shop for and then put it together and have it taste good. I have other people make margaritas for me, darling, please. But I love digging in and being like, you stupid idiot, you've ruined everything. You didn't have a plan, and now look at you. But at the same time, I am so thrilled by my choice, and I feel better than I have despite all the self-doubt and the pressure I've put on myself. And so it's been at times easier to combat it and be like, no, I feel great. And, at the end of the day, I know that things will work itself out. And the plan to figure out what I want to do by leaving something I don't want to do and giving myself that space is what I needed. And so go away, negative voice, you little puppet of misery. We can all agree we hate puppets, right? Like, no one who listens to this likes puppets. Look, if you listen to this podcast and you like puppets, I'm not mad. I'm not going to shame you. I'm just going to let you know this is not we don't like puppets and we don't like birds. That's what this podcast is all about. I think the couch is making my brain a little more scattered than normal, but I feel really good today. Past couple of episodes I've done have been basically being depressed, which I guess is part of the podcast, but it's nice. I like to try to put out some good energy, and I'm having a really good day so far, so I'm going to shoot out those good vibes, and mostly for myself to look back on this and be like, okay, there are good points. So yes, a lot of my pressure right now is my career. What are you going to do, Elaine? And learning the things I want to do just in life. Like, I really want to travel. I might want to move. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that require money. And to have money, one must have income. And trying to figure out how I want to make money without falling into the same cycle just is haunting me more and more. I have my budget right now and I'm good. I know my timelines and stuff, but it hasn't stopped me from just basically, I think the past 2 weeks, really. I mean, let's just go with the past week. I always say the past 2 weeks when really it's been like 3 days of whatever I'm feeling. So I'll just go for the middle. The past week, I have just been really beating myself up for not trying hard enough to figure out my career. I do not know how valid that is as a statement and the feelings I bring with it, the guilt tripping, because part of me loves having that motivation. I am a very driven person, I will say. I'm very good at just going out and doing things, getting things done. Sometimes I do turn that inward, and that's not great to be driven to just convincing myself that I'm utter trash. But I am overall a motivated person. Depression will, make that harder, but that is a baseline. And I just keep thinking I haven't done enough to secure a job. And everybody I feel like would assume that's exactly what I should be doing 24/7. And I thought that's what I was going to do. Like, my original plan with the Life Sabbatical was take a month off of just true vacation. And then, that second month I was really going to go in and be like, okay, what are the jobs I want? Let's apply. But that didn't happen. That has not been what happened, which has been, I guess, interesting. But I've been really putting myself into my creative projects. I've been podcasting, obviously. I started a second podcast. With that comes more audio editing, managing social media accounts. I've been doing a lot more writing recently, and it's enough work to definitely fill up my day. And I've been figuring out, what is my ideal day? Like, if money didn't matter, what would be the schedule I want, and what would be the things that I want to do? And that in itself, even though the little parasite of my brain is going, you're doing this all wrong, I have come to learn like today, I feel really good and I'm having a clear mind, and a lot of these revelations have come to me. To me, that has been so good to then figure out, okay, well, if that's the lifestyle I want to lead, then I should probably get a contract job, a part-time job. I should, work to make some money off the podcast, just things like that, where if that's what I want to do, then that's how I should do it. Now, if I want to be traveling a lot, maybe I need to figure out how to fund that. Maybe when I move to a cheaper place, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that because I have made this life decision, in a way, it'll be easier to line up the other aspects of my life. See, like I just said that and I haven't thought about that at all until I said that into this microphone. That's why this episode is for me. Elaine, are you still there? Okay, get it, girl. Oh my gosh, if there are any other Elaines that listen to this podcast, I'll accept Elena's as well. No Eileen's, I'm sorry, mostly because so many people have called me Eileen in my life. I can't accept you, Eileen. You can stay and listen, just you can't be part of this. But this episode directly goes out to all the Elaines. Shout out to you, ladies. We got this. Working backwards from the template of what I want will then decide other factors for me. And maybe I don't like everything that comes with it, right? So let's say I do all these like contract jobs or whatever, or maybe I miss being in an office or knowing a company or something. Well, then I shift that and then I see what the other side of that is, pros and cons, which is great. But, with the self-pressure, I really just don't give a fuck what other people think. And I do truly mean that, but I don't think it happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think when people say they don't care what people think, I think that that is the overall mentality and what we strive for. But I personally think it's impossible to have that happen all the time. I clearly care what people I love think of me. I think they have a pretty good understanding of who I am. And if I start, going off the path of, I guess my morals or just, if things seem off, I want those people to talk to me and, I care about their opinion. And I care about what other people may, like if I ever say something incorrect, I'd like to know that. I'm a Gemini, so I really want people to like me. We all want to be liked, okay? It's point blank. I don't think anyone goes, I want to be hated. Like, I want to be liked. And so, yeah, I care about what people think of me. Now, I may be able to stop and go, okay, well, actually, this person is not somebody I admire or like either. So why would I care what they think about my life? But that was a lot easier to do when I felt like I was very secure in who I was. And part of this pressure has become, should I feel ashamed for what I've done? Which is strange because I haven't felt ashamed for quitting my job and technically being unemployed. I don't like to say that because I am doing a lot of work. I'm just not getting paid for it. So I'll just say I'm self-employed, which people just assume is the same thing. But I am, technically I'm unemployed. And I feel like there is a lot of shame that can come from that based on our society. Introducing myself to people and being like, oh, what do you do? And it's like, well, if I say I'm a podcaster, then I really have to own that. And, sometimes I'm a little shaky on what I do. And it takes a lot of confidence to believe in your art, to confidently tell strangers about it. I mean, I'm talking as the person who used to not tell anybody about Angus IT. No one knew I had this podcast. It was my dirty little secret. Like, I never even shared it on like my personal social media platforms because I was like, nobody needs to really know about this. And so to go up to people and know that that's kind of the first thing people judge you by is your name and your occupation. It's weird. And now that things are opening up again, I'm officially vaccinated. Yeehaw, get your vaccine, y'all. Now that things are opening up, I am starting to like interact with people again. I'm still in like small groups, but I've had the opportunity to meet a handful of new people and I've had to introduce myself, which has been the biggest fear this entire time is how do I introduce myself to people I don't know now? Because my entire identity was based on my job and it has been based on my job and then maybe my hobbies, but my job was my front. And now that I don't have the job, I'm free floating. And I think that's why my pressure, you could be doing better mode has kicked in because my body doesn't know what we're doing. I've gone off the template. We're freestyling now. And I can't figure out what the formula is. And I've never been in the situation I am now where I don't know what's coming next. I don't know what the next month looks like. I don't know what a year from now I'll be doing. And I am very thrilled by that fact. But as you can imagine, it is also stressful and a lot. And so I am used to these old self-defense mechanisms to keep myself going in the old job I had, where it was like, at one point again, get through the day. And it was like, okay, no, you got to do this. You got to do this. It's all for this in the end. Very money motivated. And look, I love money. But now it's like, it's so weird to, like, I hate saying this because I don't truly always believe it, but it's like, at some point with what you do, you don't really care how much money you make because you love what you're doing. Like I went from making, a good income to now I have no income. And I'm happier than I was with that money. However, I would love to have money. I would like to, pay rent and stuff. And I think that it really weighs on a person if you're not compensated for the work that you actually do, So I don't like when people say that where it's like, you should just be happy with what your salary is. And it's like, well, maybe I do X, Y, and Z on top of this and you're not compensating that for me, then that weighs on you. But speaking more abstractly from that, that was my big footnote there. Abstractly, like I am so much happier and I'm just watching my savings go down the toilet. So I don't know. I've broken every life rule. I've broken every template. I obviously read a bunch of self-help books. I say obviously because you've either listened to me for a hot second and or just based on this episode alone, you're like, this bitch. I hope she gets some help, which I have and I do. Oh, that was the puppet voice. I'm sorry. I've been enjoying life. I've been trying to enjoy life. I've set up a morning routine that's incredibly long. I don't really start working until noon. And yet it really works for me. I still get a lot done in that time frame and I'm happy most times. This past week I wasn't sleeping and I felt super sluggish and gross. And that wasn't the most fun to experience, but I just realized, wait, like there are things I can do to feel better. Let me try just changing one habit. And so I did that last night. I meditated before I went to bed. I haven't meditated in a hot second. And you know what? I woke up and I felt great. And then I meditated again. And then I took my dog for a walk, said hi to all my alligators. And then I decided, okay, I feel empowered. I'm going to go on Indeed and I'm going to look at what kind of fun part-time contract jobs there are out there. And I have one I'm applying to right now. And I know that this afternoon I'm going to edit. And then I was like, oh, I got to record. And I was kind of dreading it. And then I thought, what's one way that this could be more enjoyable for me? And it was, I'm going to sit on the couch and record. Those have been the ways where I've been trying to prove to myself and that inner voice that no, I am doing things. I am being productive. It's human nature to have that worry voice. Like I totally get where that pressure and self-burden is coming from because it's a survival instinct. It's saying, hey, can you make some money? Because you keep going to Taco Bell to support your emotions and you have a lot of those. And so we're kind of going through a lot there. And I just don't know if it's responsible. And I think people are going to judge you for doing that. So can you figure it out, please, and go get a job or something? I don't know. Thank you. So now I am being more active, especially this week. I'm going to really try to be more active in intention. Active in intention. That sounded so self-help cheesy bullshit. I'm going to sell it on t-shirts that are going to be $40. You can check it out at my website, www.angusachi.com. I want to set up a routine where maybe my brain can understand more that I am working on things. Maybe I need to go back and look at the plan I created. Maybe I need to set up a new plan so it feels fresh in my mind. Because like I said, what I set up in January is completely different than where we are now, which is almost May. Things have changed. So maybe I need to do that. And that can help quiet that voice because right now I am my biggest block. It's not the job market. It's not my ability as a salesperson to, get sponsors or what have you. Like, those are obviously things, but my biggest block right now is myself. And I don't want to have taken this opportunity and to have stained it with all of this negativity because I couldn't let myself just do the damn thing. I'm already cruising. I already have a plan. And again, maybe I need to update it so that my brain can be like, okay, yes, we do know what we're doing. But I've gone into this with full confidence. And even when I have the self-doubt things, like if anyone was to question what I was doing, I would totally be ready to come at them. I mean, they might be questioning it in a nice way. So maybe I won't like come at them fisticuffs. But like, I'm very confident in what I've done, which I haven't felt so confident in something in a very long time in my life. I do not regret it. I think it's been a great choice. And in a way, I do feel like something amazing is coming my way. I feel really good about the pivot that my life has taken. I know that with like mental health, I can't just go, no, I don't want to engage with you today and hit a button and it goes away. That's not how it works. I can't just like shut off the negative voice overnight. I've been working on it for a while, but it doesn't go away. You just get better at managing it. But I refuse to engage in it anymore. I think that I have wanted to tap into the wallow because I thought I deserved to feel shitty because I thought I hadn't done enough. And because I hadn't done enough, but I was happy, I think I believed I needed to make myself face quote unquote consequences for not doing enough. And so I sat on the couch and I watched TV and I just was like, look at what a bum you are. See, this is exactly what was going to happen. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy, essentially. You know, the reason why I think yesterday I just was like, no more is because I swear to God, I am not going to be the thing that stopped me from doing what I want to do. I am not going to be the reason that things don't work out. It can end up being that the job market sucks. It can be that maybe the funding isn't there. Maybe I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's fine. But I will not be the reason that I didn't try. I will not be the reason that I didn't go for it. I will not be the reason that I let something sit and that I didn't give it a go. And so I feel that pressure, but I'm turning it on its head and I'm going to prove it wrong. And I've tried to listen to it and I did that dance and it wasn't cute. Am I a good dancer? Questionable. You know, I've been doing dance workouts, but no one's seen me do the dances. And therefore I will live in this beautiful, perpetual, yeah, I could be a good dancer vibe, and I'm good with that. So yes, I've done the dance of the devil, and I'm not good with it, and so I'm gonna tap dance my way to success, which will be the name of my self-help book, Tap Dance Your Way to Success. I really appreciate you listening to this episode of Angus IT. If you have things that help you get through that self-pressure burden talk, or if you want to share what you're going through too, you can DM me at AngusIT on Twitter or Instagram. You can visit my website, www.angusit.com, to see the whole library of all my episodes with show notes, what have you. Depending on what streaming platform you're listening to this on, I am available elsewhere. If you are just someone who's always on Spotify, you can listen to me there. I'm on Audible now. Ooh, she fancy. So, you can... download me on every streaming platform and listen to this episode like 20 times in a row. Don't do that. I need you to not hate me. If you want extra goodies, you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AngusIT. I released an essay I wrote that I read dramatically last episode. And I also posted some Girl Scout Elaine photos of me as a wee child with a coconut head bob. It was really cute. Not really at all. It was sort of terrifying. But yeah, you get extra content over there. And a big shout out to my current Patreon lovelies. That's KTNOT, Vanessa, Rachel, Laura, and Taylor. Thank you so much. You guys rock. Thanks for helping me do what I do. I hope that you are able to find a wild animal that you can adopt to be your emotional support animal. Perhaps you will find your own Gucci, though you cannot actually have my Gucci. He is mine. Back the fuck off. But I hope you find that, and just enjoy their presence. It can be as small as a chameleon, lizard, things, fish. Stop while you're ahead, Elaine. And with that, I will talk to you next Wednesday. Bye, Heifer.